Assalamu alaikum everybody, my name is Sanamed and I'm back again with another YouTube video to talk about Forex. I know I don't usually post on Thursdays, but I'm bored and I have nothing to do. So I was like, why not break down every single trade that I took today and how I made $300. Now, ideally, it should have been 600, but unfortunately, what ended up happening was one of my trades got out. That break even when it wasn't supposed to, so I only ended up making $300. It is what it is, and honestly, based off the trade that I ended up getting out at break even with, um, realistically, that trade minus I took a losing trade, so it should have actually been $200, but somehow I lucked out and I increased my lot size a little bit too much when I was placing the trades, and so because of that, I ended up making a decent $300 in profit today. But forget about all that. Let's get into talking about the trades. If you like this type of content, guys, make sure to like the video, comment down below, and subscribe to this channel for more content. I mean, I post day trading content, guys, 3 times a week at the bare minimum. Sometimes I'll post 4 times a week, like this week, right? So if you want more day trading content, guys, subscribe. All right, we're gonna do the trades in order, and by that I mean I have no idea what order I took them in. So we're gonna figure it out by ourselves. We're gonna do it together. Okay, cool. So I took I want to say 5 trades today, right? This is the first trade, and let's break it down real quick, right? So first trade, right? We see Euro USD, no real trend, and when there's no real trend, right, it's kind of difficult to trade. But what I did notice was that overall we were up. Okay, so overall we were up. I'd kind of figured that out, and what I started to notice was that we were in this sort of trend line over here, right? And we kept on breaking above that. Not only that, but then I saw this trend line over here. What ended up happening was that it looked as though we had broken above. Hold on, let me get the arrow real quick. It looked as though we had broken above, closed, and retested, and now we were coming up, right? So that's why I entered, especially with the Ichimoku confirmation. I got the fact that the price was above the Ichimoku clouds. We got the crossover telling me that, hey, chances are we're going to continue going bullish. So I entered, right? Price was in a little bit of consolidation, but finally it ended up moving in my favor. I moved my stop loss to break even. We were up about 1.5%, and then price ended up dropping. And so I took out a break even right over here. Right now, the next trade was the exact opposite trade. So I was buying EU, and I think the next course of action was a sell, right? And so what ended up happening was that I ended up, I'll just open up a trend line, right? And so I ended up seeing that we had broken this trend line. And again, I don't really like to use trend lines, guys, but the idea behind it was the fact that we had broken that trend line. We had broken major levels of support, right? Major key levels, right? So we had broken this area, we'd broken this area, and honestly, not it's more so this area, right? Because of the fact that we couldn't close above this area, which was such a strong area that price kept on repelling back, I thought that we were going to continue melting. And so that's why after breaking this support, after breaking below, after failing to break through resistance, after breaking this trend line, and after closing below the support level, along with closing below the Ichimoku candles, and you got a cross down of the Ichimoku lines, I entered over here. Now this short trade super quickly, I literally within a minute I was up 1%. Boom, my stop loss to break even, and literally right after that it reversed on me, and I got took out of break even. Like it is what it is. So now, what I'm doing now is I still think we're going to be short bias simply because of the fact that this key level over here of resistance was not being able to be broken, right? So what I did instead is I waited again, and I literally just waited until I could get a separate entry, a second entry, right? And so I was still looking for shorts, right? I'm going to delete a lot of my drawings now, guys, simply because you guys know my bias. Yeah, so I'm gonna delete my drawings so that it just doesn't clutter my chart. I don't like my charts being too crazy, and the Ichimoku makes it already a little bit of craziness. So I really don't like drawing on my charts that much. But this was actually before, so we're gonna move to AU now. So 2 of my trades both went into profit, move my stop loss to break even, and I got to break even. So now we have the AU trade, right? Now AU was looking bullish for me simply because of this factor over here, right? We had broken above, retested, and closed very strong bullish wise right over here and right over here. And so the first time we closed strong bullishly after retesting this key level, we had a large move upwards. So I was expecting this move upwards to continue. And I was expecting, because of this, to be a double bottom, as well as another retest of the key level, as well as this bullish engulfing. And you know, the usual things that I look for with the Ichimoku confirmations. I thought we were just going to continue going upwards, right? Not only that, but considering the fact that AU had seen such a strong rally upwards, I thought that that was the possibility, and I ended up losing. But here's the thing: in the middle of this trade, right, what ended up happening is, let me close this for a second. In the middle of this trade, I got a short signal for EU. This short signal right over here, right? And so this short signal for EU, I got. I ended up taking it because it matched all of my criteria, right? We could have failed to close above this key level. We had broken above this bullish trend line. We had gotten a deep pullback. So now, again, markets move, guys, in 3 phases, right? There's phases of. Let me hide this for a second. Okay. Okay. So there's phases of push, right? What did I go? There's phases of push, there's phases of exhaustion, and then there's phases of just consolidation, right? And so consolidation would be something like this, right? So there's only a couple of phases that end up happening. What you want to do is you want to catch the push, you want to see the pushes, you want to see the exhaustions, you want to see where the exhaustion is ending. So you want to get in right around here and then get in at the bottom and go to the top, right? And so you want to get in at the end of the exhaustion and at the beginning of the push phase and then get out while the movement is still pushing, right? So it could continue pushing over here, but you would want to get out over here, if that makes sense, right? So knowing that to be happening, right, that's exactly what I saw over here. What did I see? I was short biased, right? I see a very strong push. So now what's going to end up happening? I see an exhaustion, right? Again, push exhaustion, right? What happens after a exhaustion? Well, hopefully another push. And so I look to see that the exhaustion is now stopping, it's ending, right? We're seeing these bullish candles get weaker and weaker. We're seeing rejection, we're seeing bearish candles come into play. I saw 5 bearish candles in a row. I saw all of them being strong. And so I noted that, hey, chances are the exhaustion phase has ended and now we're going to get into a push. And guess what I did? I entered. And that's why I entered that trade, right? In the midst of me entering this trade, what ends up happening is that AU ends up hitting stop loss. And now what ends up happening that I realized is that I completely botched for a second was a chart pattern, right? So let me go into that chart pattern really quickly for you guys. And you guys may know, actually comment down below right now. What chart pattern do you think I'm going to talk about right now? I'll give you 5 seconds. What chart pattern am I thinking about, or was I thinking about when this trade happens? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was the head and shoulders pattern, right? Sorry for that awkward terminal, but the head and shoulders pattern. Now, let me draw it out for you guys so you guys can see it more clearly. We have the left head, the left shoulder, we have the head, and then we have the right shoulder right over here, right? Maybe you could draw it like this, maybe you could draw it like that, doesn't matter to me, right? But we had all of these in confirmation. Now, this was the neckline of the head and shoulders, correct, guys? So what ended up happening let me make this a little bit thicker for you guys, just so you guys can see it a little bit better. 3, there we go, right? So now I saw that this key level probably is not going to maintain itself. Why? Why is it not going to maintain itself? Well, just looking at AU for a second, right? What do we see? We see 3 taps right over here, right? Actually, let me remind this. Okay, go. We see 1 tap, fails. 2 taps, fails. 3 taps, fail. On the 4th tap, it still gave a rejection, right? After two taps is fine, guys. In 2 taps, if price doesn't break, I don't care. In 3 taps, right? If price hasn't broken, that's when I start to get wary. Whoa, what is happening here? Why is price not breaking, right? Because now we're finding that there's a new key level forming in the market that was previously not there. The 4th tap happened and gave me a solid wick rejection, and that's when I knew that chances are we were going to continue going bearish. At this point in time, when I was about 0.5% in loss, floating, that's when I realized that chances are we're going to continue going bearish, right? And at that same exact time, roughly, right, a little bit before, I was in EU sells for the exact same reason. Why? Because of the fact that the key level was tapping. We had broken the bullish trend line. We were continuing to go bearish, right? So I thought that we were going to continue going downwards, right? So that was my analysis. And so what ended up happening is that just from correlation, right? If EU goes up, AU is going to go up. If EU goes down, AU is going to go down. My conviction on EU going down was much more strong than my conviction that AU was going to go up. After I had seen 4 taps on new key level forming and us failing to break above that key level, right? And so when I saw the head and shoulders pattern, I was like, okay, you know what? Chances are that we are going to go down with AU as well. And that brings my conviction even stronger that EU is going to continue melting. So as soon as this trade hit stop loss, I got in at sales position, right? I put my stop loss a little bit above these previous highs, right? Close to the neckline of the head and shoulders. And I just rode in for sales. And as you guys can see, AU started melting. EU hit TP first. So let's go back to that real quick. As you guys can see, yeah, EU, I was very close to getting whipped out at my stop loss, guys. This was 0.1 pips away from hitting my stop loss. 0.1 pips. Do you know how crazy that is, guys? Do you know how crazy it is that EU was 0.1 pips away from hitting my stop loss? Insane. But guess what? Hit a fair TP and then it reversed on me. And thankfully, I was already out of the market by that point in time, right? But yeah, hit a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio. I was fantastic. I was happy about it. I was excited, right? And then super close by, this ends up happening, right, guys? Super close to TP, starts reversing on me. Then it gets close to TP, starts reversing on me. Then it pulls back, right? So now I am so close to hitting 3% in profit, and now it's pulled back, and now I'm half as much in profit. And then finally, it ends up hitting it ends up going down again. It goes up going down again, but it never ever hits. And now, guess what? Like I said before, what ends up happening when there's multiple taps at a key level, but price is still failing to break, right? I start getting worried. Ooh, what might happen, guys? We might be looking at another key level forming in the market, right? Over here with all these taps, and we might just be looking at a complete reversal happening. And guess what? By that point in time, EU had already reversed, right? But I held through the trade. It was very, very nerve-wracking, especially coming over here. Like again, 5th tap right over here, 6th tap right over here. But eventually we finally ended up hitting TP. And that key level in the market, guys, was literally this level right over here. Honestly, we can make this a little bit thinner. So we can make this level like that. And if you continue going back, you'll see that this level was continuously tapped in the market, right? So as you guys know, I like to trade based off key level. So I was targeting that key level. I just thought that potentially we could go a little bit more below that key level before reversing, right? That's why I had my stop. That's why I had my tape payoff right at a perfect 3-order risk to reward ratio, and I wasn't closing early because I did believe, in my conviction that the US dollar was going to strengthen and we were going to continue going weaker and weaker with AU and EU, and so that's why I didn't close even after all of this profit turning into less profit. It was definitely very nerve-wracking, but I stayed true to my strategy. I stayed true to my edge, and that is why I hit TP. So yeah, I made $300 today, guys. Fantastic day. And as you guys can see, then it reversed on me. If I had held any longer, it would have literally hit my stop loss and I would have been taken out at break even. And as you guys can see, you had just completely reversed on me. So yeah, getting out of the 3-hour ratio between both trades was a fantastic idea. This day, I'm up 5% for the day because this trade was a loser. Honestly, guys, realistically thinking, I should have just gone out at a 0.5% loss. So I should have been up 5.5% for the day. But again, coulda, shoulda, woulda, right, guys? So with that being said, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys like this. It is a Thursday and I don't usually upload, but I want to upload anyways, just to give you guys more content. I'm thinking about ideas for tomorrow's video. So if you have any ideas, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below with whatever video idea you want me to make. With that being said, guys, Allah Hafiz.